Hey, it's Jeremy from OpticHouse.com. So, more studies from Robert Beverly Hale's book, Drawing Lessons of the Great Masters. Or this one might be Anatomy Lessons of the Great Masters. I don't remember which. Point is I'm in here drawing my ass off. And most of these drawings are incomplete. There's a reason why. I'm doing a timed exercise, so I'm not just doing studies from the book, but I'm doing 6-minute poses. Usually when I'm in my weekly figure drawing classes, we tend to start with 5-minute poses. However, I decided, well, hell, I'm at home, I'm drawing, by myself. I'll cheat, give myself a little bit of a crutch, and give myself 1 extra minute. And I figure that I owe myself, or I can decide the boundaries of my own exercise. And if I feel like I can benefit from that extra minute in the sense that being able to analyze structure a little bit more, or take just a few extra seconds here and there and say, oh, wait, this knee is a little bit, too far away from the torso. This arm's a little bit too long. This head isn't tilted in the angle it should be. Then I'll choose to grant myself that. And even though I'm showing these drawings, on a video, making them, public in that sense, I'm not doing these for anybody to win any beauty contest, to enter it in some sort of art exhibition. These are purely academic studies. My point in doing these is for me to learn. So if I give myself a little bit extra time and I feel like that helps me learn, so be it. But yeah, so for a lot of these drawings, I will get part of the way through, and I've got the main figure at least blocked out proportionally, and then time's up, and I got to move on to the next drawing. And I started realizing a lot of times when I'm in my figure drawing classes, you always feel like there's not enough time. If you have a 10-minute pose, there's not enough time. You have a 20-minute pose, there's not enough time. You have a half-hour pose or something long where the model takes breaks in between each segment of it and ends up doing like 3 hours of the same pose. You still feel like by the time you get to the end, there was not enough time. I started realizing that each drawing that I do is really just a continuation of another drawing. I might not be drawing the exact same pose, the exact same figure, the exact same body type, but it all comes down to exercises in understanding volumes and light and structure. And so when I'm looking at different drawings, if I draw this one, I only get in a few minutes, I have to move on to draw something else, then I can pick up not the exact same drawing, the exact same pose, but I can move on to the next drawing and say, well, what was the part of the structure that I was dealing with, or the volumes I was struggling with in the last pose? Was it a shape that was, elongated, or something that was a little bit more foreshortened? And then I will, once I get the main gestures blocked in, I'll look at what is similar in the next drawing and work on that. I also do the same thing I like to do during my figure drawing classes, is I will go back, and when I do a drawing, when I frequently botch them, I will go back and do little mini studies of the same drawing and try to fix it until I can get something that, that I feel is quote-unquote right and correct. I tend to do that in my breaks in my drawing classes, and I figured I should do the same thing here. So really, I can continue the same studies I do whether I'm in class or not all the time. Anyway, that's it for now. Check out my website, optichouse.com, for a bunch of cool comics and artwork. Go be creative.